Hello, hello. Just double checking. Okay, I think we're good. All right. Welcome. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm here with you every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And we've got a fantastic community because you have been so kind to each other and so kind to me. Thank you. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, or whatever works for you. So, hello. I just saw in passing, just like random things in the chat, and there's some talk about she likes crime shows, and I immediately thought, because I don't know what the context was, I immediately thought, oh, so she likes political news. Anyway, hello. All right, let's jump in. I had a little bit of I had a lipstick thing I'd sort out. So I'm still working on second breakfast, little nuts and dried fruit. I have got a big old mug of Earl Grey Supreme. And the reason I say it that way, I've had people ask, because it's been a while since I started doing that. This is a particular brand, and they named this Earl Grey Supreme, which immediately makes me think of the 90s, and how everything was extreme and X, and because Pluto was in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, so everything was big. So it's Earl Grey Supreme. Anyway, all right. I'm glad you guys like this. I just loved it. So, all right, we're gonna jump in. I wanted to start with one particular bit of news today. Hello, Patricia. Hello from Chicago. The polls are showing President Dumpster Fire's approval rating at 36%. 36. Justice. Okay. Just wanted to... Bear says, I drink Earl Grey Supreme tea. The bergamot oil makes it very yummy. Oh, it's very yummy, but... Yes, want fun. Exactly. Betha says, let's get it down to 0. Yes. Tam is saying 36% and dropping. And Cat Toy's going, Jennifer says, love that for him. Mm-hmm. So, and E-Baby says, I feel like that's too high. I know. But, yeah. Let's say, Girl says, oh no, didn't Dumpy say 90% biggest ever? Oh, yeah. And he's trying to focus on Republican approval numbers and just ignore the war. Or he is so gaslit, which we know. He has sycophants around him constantly blowing smoke up his girdle. And he might actually believe that because he wants to. Oh, we're going to get to the Trump winning the files released. That's next. But first, I just wanted to just have a look at this 36% approval rating. Oh, Mama Brooks says, yay, made it on time for once. I need a calming voice and aura today. Oh, well, you have come to the right place. We have very friendly people here. Okay. Susan said, I went off and read that raw story link. Okay. Oh, I made Bear laugh. Good. Oh, he's right in the middle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Emperor, please. I think they're lying to him. I think he's only getting certain information because people know he doesn't want to hear anything else. And like that other day when whoever that stupid congressional person was like, I'll never pass up an opportunity to be in the Oval Office with Trump and working for the people of, was it Oklahoma or whatever it was. And what he had brought, it was literally a whole page. I mean, like page-sized printouts of Trump's tweets or truths or whatever they are. Literally his name and what he wrote and nothing else. And there were many of them all over the desk. And this guy was handing one to Trump to show Trump what he himself had written, how Trump had written. And then another one. Because if you want something from him, you have to blow smoke up his girdle. So I think he gets a lot of that. I think occasionally he runs into the truth, but on the whole, I think there are a lot of people around him who are slating him to get what they want. But anyway, his legacy, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I got a whole lot of nonsense here. King of Truth. It feels like, especially around legal matters. There he is, with worm tongue behind him. A just question, my liege. Trying to stir things up, and there were voters who were like, no. Yeah, this is a mess. And we're out here like, no, this is voters. It's my card for the voter. Voting. Yeah. Wow. Oh my Sheila the quilter. Hello. So I was trying to parse your username. All right, so so at 8:10. So that's really going to be the thing to keep our focus where it should be. Just remembering that President Dumpster Fire has a 36% approval rating. Okay, so both B. Pow Herfel, I love that, and Nettie, we're both saying that President Dumpster Fire is now encouraging his minions to vote to release the files. You're right. Does this mean they've hidden everything that shows he's guilty? Bondi and Patel had the files combed through. Did they have Dumpy's name removed from the files before releasing them? Did they? That now Dumpy says it's okay to release the files. Or are they fake files like the 3 binders Pam tried to pass off to the influencers when she first started her DOJ position? Or it could be that he's right off the top of my head, without looking at the cards or anything, I would guess he's gotten a promise from Thune that the vote to release those files, he got a promise from Thune that that vote will never hit the Senate floor. That's all it would take. But here, this is weird because, again, doesn't look like it'll happen. I mean, how can they get any of this to work when Trump can just veto it? So you would need a supermajority in both the House and the Senate. And Thune isn't even Thune is really indicating he's not going to bring it to the floor. So it's okay, so that should be that. So, but the cards I've been getting for weeks now are so Dumpy. Why are you saying it's okay? Unless he's just lying. He's had somebody reassure him that either Bondi doesn't have to do it, or Bondi won't do it, or Thune won't bring it to the floor, or something. Oh yeah, release the files. Feels like there are more cards. Feels like there are a lot of cards. Why are there so many cards? TJ is asking, what about the DOJ investigation stopping it? Yeah, that's another possibility. Feels like there are just a lot of extra cards. Oh. Look, we don't want this put off until a year from January. But that might be what it takes to get Democrats back in power. Rick wrote his Carol? Sorry. Or they scrubbed the files. That's a possibility. Also, the victims are very much speaking out. Bless them. Am I blurry? Ruh-roh. I'm at the highest 1080, and I'm not getting a low internet warning. But anyway, and here's the thing. If Trump is like, go ahead, release the files, or go ahead, what is he, encouraging minions to vote to release the files? Then there doesn't need to be a vote. If he's saying it's fine, he can just have them released. It doesn't have to go through Congress at all. Oh, journalists, you might want to point that out to him repeatedly. Oh, it's fine? Oh, it's fine. Okay, you have nothing to hide? Okay. You can release the files. It doesn't even have to go through Congress. You could release the files today. Why don't you do that? Why don't you release the files today? Thank you. Big old judgment. 10 of Cups. Yeah, he thinks he's sitting pretty. Walking away. I don't like this hole in this something unfinished here. Chaos. But I got to tell you, I felt like there were more cards. And those more cards Death card, 9 of Swords, King of Cups. Very, very much not good. Sleepless nights, all kinds of worry. Democrats, powerful Democrats. So let me have a look. Does this mean we need to wait? Because I keep getting major arcana that says, oh, this is not just going to be put it in neutral. Just things will just be the same. Cards I'm getting are batten down the hatches. Huh. Rose Blue says it's called trying to soften the fact that Republicans are walking away by signing to the release. Could be. Could be. Oh, we definitely have partnership and empathy and decency and kindness. That's kind of how we do world. Everyone's pulling together against this. King of Swords, Justice. Ooh, ooh. Again, Major Arcana. This is big energy. Justice in the middle. And then the Emperor. The Emperor only needs to take action if there's a problem. If there's real justice. I bet this is Bondi. I bet it's Bondi saying, don't worry. I'll drag my feet. I'll do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I'm glad you like the picture. Raymond says there are protesters gathered outside the White House demanding Trump's resignation because of the Epstein files. Don't threaten me with a good time. So, release the files, huh? Why does Dumpy think he doesn't need to worry about any of this? Or is it just bluster? And then I get hope. Democrats holding together against Trump the man, scumbag that he is. And he is. I don't have to say allegedly. 34 felony convictions adjudicated, R word. January 6th insurrection. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on. So, no, he's a scumbag. But I've got hope. Now, he might have some of his flunkies try to do something, but there's the sun, which is bringing things to light. Queen of Cups, that's not only Democrats, but that's the victims who've grown up and the victims when they were children. So I am not getting, forget it. It's a matter of time. But why he's saying this now, he also just might be addled in the brain. Because I'm getting more of a sense of flailing than planned. But I do think that he's been promised, probably by Bondi. I was thinking Thune, probably more Bondi. Lisa says, sending my love to the protesters outside the White House. That was the other thing I saw before I came on. Didn't someone in the chat say that some of the protesters outside the White House tried to wrap the fence in crime scene tape? That is what protest should be. That's my idea of protest. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. So, Melissa says, close up of your nails, please. Oh, yeah. They're these autumnal, I don't know, it's like can't get it to focus, but there it is. Kind of like broken leaves on the ground or something. With a multicolored long French nail section. Anyway. Thank you. Oh, Shauna, how does Megyn Kelly still have an audience? I have no idea. I have no idea. That woman can go blankety. Anyway, so last cards I was going to pull on this matter. There's hope. There is hope. Because legislators are not giving up, and there are more and more of them. And then I get a big old death card, and then I get Trump's legacy. I don't know what else to say. So, this is not going away. It's just not. So, okay. Lewis says no claim. There's a new investigation, so they can't release the files. All right. Actually, I should have just flat out asked that. Forgive me. Of 2040. Investigation. Stupid investigations. Okay. So are they going to say, oh, we can't release it because of the investigation? I did hear this morning, I saw a headline that a judge has ruled that Comey can get access to the grand jury information on why he's being accused of something, of a crime. Well, I don't have the justice card. I do have a whole lot of Republicans turning against Trump right there, Democrats holding together on this matter. Fruits of labor. The stuff exists. It's right there. Death card right in the middle again. How many times can I get one card? And I'm shuffling. I mean, these other cards are different, but far-right communication, shuffling, resources and stuff around. They can try. But man, this is not good for him. And it shouldn't be. Very bad. But I don't have a justice card here. So we'll see. Okay. Hello, B. Smith in Ireland. Ken Cooper is asking, is a death card going to be the major arcana card for the week? I guess so. Last week it was all Wheel of Fortune. So I love that one. Ding, ding, ding. All right. So I did want to make sure I got to this at 23 minutes in. And I saw a question about this last week, and I can't remember if I went over it, but this is a little bit of a twist, so I just put it right back in here. Growing numbers of U.S. military personnel are seeking outside legal advice about the legality of Trump-ordered missions, including lethal strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats, with little publicly released evidence and politically contested National Guard deployments to U.S. cities. Unanswered questions about their legal basis, accountability, and potential exposure to prosecution, domestic or international, are driving officers, especially those involved with planning, to seek independent guidance to avoid unlawful actions and long-term moral injury. Will we start to see military members refuse to follow orders? See, I had heard, we had talked something about this, or I thought we did, but no, apparently this is quite high on the food chain. Mayor says, I've been waiting for this, actually. A lot of people in the Navy or from Navy families have been waiting for this. I'm sure the Air Force as well. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, fun. And the tower a lot. Yeah. Visualize 70 says, so it's all a bit deathy this week. Not necessarily literally, but yeah, apparently. All right, so the military members saying no. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. I kind of wish we were, but definitely they want more transparency. Temperance, Queen of Cups. I wonder if talk about this as being a little overblown. That it doesn't feel like it's happening as much as we would hope. But there's also, it is very much on shaky ground. And that's just bullying. and dumpster fire isn't done. He's just going to keep doing stupid stuff like this. But also, there's a matter that I want to say that hasn't he started talks with Venezuela or something? So if they give him a gold crown and a shiny golf club and tell him he's just the bestest boy, then this whole military thing will just. Oh, and however many millions of dollars they can manage to slip into his pocket. Yeah, I don't think this is enough of a big deal yet. Denise says there are rumors that talks are beginning. Okay. Yeah, there was a couple hundred barrels of oil. Yeah. This kid Yahoo says a ton of oil. There we go. In future, our higher ups in the U.S. military going to be like, after they're like, it's not feasible. And are they just going to say no? I'm not getting a lot. I wish I was. This is a lot of back in the background. Yeah, definitely feeling beaten up is that this isn't right. But Queen of Pentacles is just a conservative mind. A group with a conservative mindset, and they're hemmed in because they choose to be hemmed in. That's all I've got. I wish there were more, but that's all I got. Okay. Oh, we read. I told you I didn't read. Don't think I read on it, but I did talk about this. 2745. But there's a new thing, or a new way to look at this. Trump sharply criticized Indiana Republican lawmakers for refusing to pursue mid-decade redistricting. Oh. Singling out top GOP leaders, urging primary challenges against those who oppose new maps, and warning the decision could cost the party House control. Even as state leaders say they lack the votes to advance the effort, despite heavy pressure from Trump and the administration. Oh, yeah. We know he's petty. Yes. Is Trump going to start going head-to-head with red states who refuse him? He's already threatening to withdraw or withhold funding for blue states. Mm-hmm. And me without my popcorn. These cards are wussy. Yeah. Raymond says the White House are still freaking out as people are posting a photo of Virginia Giuffre to all White House posts on all platforms. I love this. I love this. This is my kind of protest. Oh, glorious. Oh, glorious, 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 glorious. Oh. And I wonder if there are bots doing it too, just to make sure it gets everywhere. Oh, that would be amazing. Anyway, but as far as him going after red states or going after Indiana, yeah, he wants to win, but he's also a lame duck. So he wants to be able to do what he wants to do, but ultimately he cares about himself. we're halfway between senses. So, truth. Yes, Mag is on the defensive. Page of Pentacles. You need to worry more about Republican voters being unhappy. Because even the redistricting might not even help you at the rate you're going. Sun card. I'm so sorry. Waiting for a ship to come in. Well, things are being revealed, but also he's still relying on the he's still waiting on the racism and misogyny and bigotry that's gotten him, that Trump has gotten Trump where he is, continuing to have as much power as it did. And then Kushner, you had Kushner go find you an economics advisor. Yeah. And he went to Amazon and started reading blurbs on books. And he chose Peter Navarro, who was lying through his teeth the whole time. So you thought tariffs were great. Plus, he thought it was like, he thinks we're in like the late 80s. I mean, I'm sorry, he doesn't have like a full-size cardboard cutout of Gordon Gekko saying greed is good. So it's from 87, I believe. Anyway, that and then all this Epstein stuff. So, oh well. Sandra says beef is supposed to increase second and third quarter of 2026. Wow. Yeah. Lisa asked, was that Peter guy in jail? Oh, Navarro? I think he did go to jail for a while. It's 4 months? I don't know. There's so many crimes. There's so many crimes by so many of these people. I honestly, I can't always remember. By the way, never forget how many times Barack Obama was impeached, and how many of people in the Barack Obama administration went to prison. Big ol' zero. Anyway, this, I want to read on this because this might hurt his widow feelings, because the only thing he really cares about is his own ego and money. So, dumpster fire crashed a wedding taking place at his Mar-a-Lago resort last Friday to lecture the happy couple on how he might connive his way to get into heaven. But this isn't the place to talk about it, about my getting into heaven. I mean, this really isn't the place to talk, but I'd talk to you. Him? Yeah, I talked to him. Because, but this isn't really a place to talk about me getting into heaven. And he wouldn't shut up about it. So here's the thing. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the price of being a member at Mar-a-Lago has gone up to $1 million. And then these people have their wedding there, and you know that's not free. And then you get dumpster fire crashing your wedding to talk about himself getting into heaven. With all this Epstein stuff going on. So, are people going to stop hosting things at Mar-a-Lago? Will they drop their memberships? Because, can you imagine how upset he would be? Can you imagine? Whew. Yes, Patty, a waffle bar wedding. Lisa says, please stop. I'm guessing you mean Trump, or because if you mean me, it's like, all right. Why would people? Why? Do you know how many people you could help if you gave $1 million to Feeding America? Do you know how much good you could do? Honestly, do you have any idea? I mean, they're still paying that kind of money. Yeah, it's not going to be good for your reputation. Sun, sitting pretty. Palm Beach, sitting pretty. Well, don't women need to keep their yap shut anyway? According to these kinds of people. Two of Pentacles. Oh, Trump's already financially on shaky ground. Adding insult to injury. You would have to be able to, these people would have to be capable of shame. Mama Brooks says Trump uses Mar-a-Lago memberships as kickbacks. Oh, yeah. Cindy says, I think he will be permanently stuck in his life review. Well, here's the thing. It's about his life review. I mean, we do it, a look over our lives. But if you've been that successful, if you've affected that many people, I wonder if he will have to look at all of the effects he did. Sorry, I need to turn off this ice maker. I thought I had. It's very noisy. Okay. Byrne says membership would be an excellent money laundering opportunity. Oh, absolutely. So, wow. They don't care. They don't care. The people who are paying $1 million to be a part of Trump's grossness, his moldy, and you can go look at the photographs of the vents. His dirty, moldy, icky grossness. Anybody who would pay for that, Lover's card, Four of Cups, Justice. Unless he's convicted of yet more. Plus the fact, I imagine you would find that not all, but the majority of the people who are willing to pay that kind of money are probably foreign or funded by foreign actors, or yeah. I don't know. Does he have to, does in his financial disclosure, does he have to disclose how much money he's getting from Mar-a-Lago memberships? Because I wonder if he would be like, oh yeah, we just had $300 million, $500 million come in. Oh, and our expenses were $499 million. So I only have to tell them, oh yeah, made what? 600,000? Anyway. All right. Lobbyists, yeah. All right. Okay, so where are we? And thank you so much for being here. I know the news can be quite harrowing at times, but we're going to get through this. All right, at Here's a really, Thread of Hope had a really interesting question at 40:45. Will ICE raids and attacks continue after Trump is gone? Will Vance or whoever is president continue this terror tactic? Oh, hello, Tower card. Hello, Magician. All the damage being done where you're putting your resources. Yeah. Raymond says it's day 296. And, sorry, jumped. And prices are climbing up. Oh, yeah. CC Ryder saying there are groups like Crew tracking all the money that flows into Trump org and the properties. Oh, so. Oh, thank you, Bear. You make the Harrowing News palatable to us. Thank you. So, Fancy Pants or whoever else, will they continue the raids of terror? Oh, Fancy Pants. By the way, we're 3 days away from some not nice astrology for Trump. So we're kind of, I could go into more details tomorrow, but we're keeping an eye on November 20th, the astrology of November 20th. It's supposed to hit Trump's chart kind of hard. So, hello, Cat Mom. Surprisingly, there may be some, yeah, I would love to say no, but this is his legacy, all the damage he's already done. Bring us your poor, you're tired, yearning to breathe free. Or you're conservative, or you believe what these people on the right believe, and no, we're going to use resources to get rid of as many people in as cruel a fashion as possible. There's judgment, there's big judgment there, but there's also kicking down of norms and still aggressive. I use the term law enforcement loosely. So it could be lessened maybe for a while, but no, that's the loudest card in the deck. So I wouldn't. Yeah. Oma Sheila the Quilter is asking, when are midterm elections? I want to say they're November 4th, 2026. Is it the 4th, or was that this last one was November 4th? It's early November. Since my birthday is the 6th, every once in a while I get my birthday's on election day. It's like, yay! As long as Democrats win. All right. Yeah, I wish I had better news about that one. Lisa had a question about in the future. 45 minutes in. How appropriate. Will we have a Nuremberg-like trial when everything is over for all of this cruelty and awfulness? Yeah. Oh, it's the 3rd next year. Thank you, Debbie and Brianna. Thank you. Oh, Chris Cool, Goral. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. November 3rd, 2026. I've never picked up on this, but thank you, Anna. I really wish I could. These people would get the kind of justice we want. And the majority of us, from what I've seen, we don't want violence. We just want courtroom justice, people held accountable and sent to prison who are guilty. They want them to have the right to a fair trial, and we want them to have a fair trial because we have eyes. We can see what you did. What's interesting here is the cards are not dismissing the whole idea. There is so very much that MAGA did. There's so very much that MAGA has done and is continuing to do. Just awfulness. There she blows. Wheel of Fortune card's back. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Fortunes can change. Isn't there a line in a Naked Eyes song? Fortune and fame, that was it. Shot down in flames. That was it. Okay, sorry. Wheel of Fortune. Democrats pulling together because of all this pain and grief and awfulness. Big old death card again. Oh yeah, about the death of the victory, quote unquote. But I don't end in a justice card. There's a lot of damage, and we really need a leader who can not only stand up to MAGA, but can articulate what needs to be done to make sure this never happens again. And I don't know, if you have any free time, or you would like a little thought experiment, start noodling around with how do we stop this from ever happening again? There will be temperance at some point. MAGA will be feeling beaten up. Big movement. Wheel of Fortune. Chariot, Wheel of Fortune. There are still big things coming. It's not going to be good for MAGA. That's still here. But as far as a Nuremberg trial, something like that, anyway. Throne of Hope says, absolutely. I don't want to hear any Democrat leader say, let's turn the page or put this behind us. No, we need justice and reformation of the laws to prevent this corrupt takeover. Yeah. We need to say, hey guys, if someone is violating the Constitution, they're going to be held accountable. There's this little thing kind of early on. It's called the Emoluments Clause. And it's not optional. It's not for funsies if you feel like it. Yeah. True, Cat Mom. Nixon should never have been pardoned. Yes. Yes. Agreed. Let's do an international question at 50, 30. Because I didn't know about this. Iran is facing its worst water emergency in decades, with drought, overuse, and aging infrastructure, and chronic mismanagement driving reservoirs nearly empty and forcing officials to consider evacuating Tehran. As millions contend with days-long water outages, rising costs, growing public anger, infrastructure damage, and warnings from experts that parts of the country have reached irreversible water bankruptcy. I don't wish that on anybody. Poor people on the streets. Things like this tend to have a ripple effect worldwide. What does this mean for the Middle East or the international stage as a whole? And will Iran tame its rhetoric to get help? I agree, Jennifer. Oh my goodness, that's awful. Yeah. True, Cat Mom. Climate change is real. Mm-hmm. I keep thinking about those poor young women who refuse to cover their heads and didn't survive. Jeez. Burns says, I see riots in the future. That could be. Where are you? The problem with Iran is that this authoritarian nightmare has gone on for so long. It's not that they can't have riots and overturn this garbage. It would be ugly. Institutions, absolute corruption, pain and grief, greed, Ace of Wands, brutality, day late and a dollar short, they're lacking resources, and the brutality is right there. This doesn't feel good for them. Because I'm not even sure an uprising could succeed. I would think so. I would hope so. But I don't know. Lewis, what you're talking about, you should go talk to Dave. I'd love it. Dragonfly says, I bet the people at the top have water. Yeah. It's been a long time since I looked at Iran's chart. Yeah. Muskrat says you cannot have growth without water. Exactly. See, I heard it was more of a good news story coming out of the Gobi Desert that apparently China built this massive solar farm, but the condensation landing on the panels and dripping caused basically grasses to start growing. So then they suddenly have this massive solar farm and they've got to mow it, and it's this big problem. So they brought in sheep. And it turns out the sheep are loving it. They have the shade from the panels. They have the water. They have grass, growth. And the whole area is now, the whole climate there is changing. This is not that. Wow. Desperate need for water. World waiting for the ship to come in. They need to import water. Star. That doesn't feel good, actually, because there's your water and there's mismanagement here. And when the skies are clear like that, everything can evaporate. Tower. And yeah, the far right would be on the defensive, but there's a whole lot of damage there. I don't like these cards. I don't like these cards. Bust them. Bust them. Okay. Iran. And it's just crazy, because if you deal with Iranian people here in the US, they're great people. They're great. Wonderful. So, okay, well. All right, well, that is actually going to do it for me for today, but I will be back tomorrow because I'm literally here every single day of the year. It is 1:08 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel, and Sarah will be there too, and we've got a great community. We just want to encourage you during that lull in the middle of the day so you can be productive. Other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow, and just put your questions in the chat before I come on. So please remember, you're not alone, and we are in this together, and there are good days ahead. All right? Please hang in there, and I'll see you later, as always.